Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, instead of doing Matthew, I decided to do a different lesson today, and it's going to be in Hebrews. It'll be in Hebrews chapter 11. We'll start on verse 6, and it should go through verse 13. And this has to do with faith, and some good descriptions of it, So, on verse 6, starting with verse 6 says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him," talking about God. "For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of the diligently seek him." So basically, it's saying, right here, without faith in God, is impossible to please him. If you do not have faith in God, it's impossible to please him, no matter what. If you don't have that faith that he's going to be able to do it, then obviously you're not going to, receive that blessing or whatever you're asking him for. You must believe, that he is the Almighty, and that he will reward the diligently who's, not reward the diligently, reward them that diligently seek him, the ones that seek after him. Just saying, some people love to work out or whatever, and it's like an obsession. God has to be that same obsession and more. And here are some examples. By faith, Noah, being warned of God of these things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteous which is by faith. Noah in the ark. He was like, his family was the only Christians on the planet. Everybody in the world was wicked. It was so wicked that God had to flood the world. But yet, by faith, with his strong faith, these people mocked him. I mean, he spent years, hundreds of years, building this thing. People mocked him, laughed at him, all kinds of things, but he had such strong faith in God that he built an ark by himself. And at the end, his faith is what kept him and his family alive. That's the kind of faith people need today. Verse 8, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. Abraham, obviously there's tons of stories of Abraham, and he had faith. He was called. God called him to this place, and he's not don't know where he's going. He don't know where this place is, but yet by faith he went there, and blessings followed after him. And by faith, and this is verse 9. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in the tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. So because of this, his sons, Isaac and Jacob, were in there, and they were promised the same as him. So not only did he bless himself, he blessed his family as well. Verse 10. This follows up with this as well. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. So he was seeking after this. Even though this place wasn't built yet, he knew that God was the builder, just like he was the builder of this world. He built this world in 7 days, so how it wouldn't take him that long to help Abraham build, a foundation or a city. Through faith, also Sarah herself received strong to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithfully who had promised. Sarah, I mean, she was, I can't remember, but she was in her 90s or something. She was very old. and they were telling her that she was going to have this baby, and Abraham and them were like, laughing about it. That was a joke. She's too old. And, because she judged faithfully, who promised this, and she eventually did have a child. And it wasn't long, she was, like I said, she's very old, and she's not the first one who did that. I can't remember, but Samuel's mom was the same way. She had faith that God would deliver her child, and He did. And this is the same way, but she was past age. No one that has children that old, but through faith, she did. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in the multitude, and as the sand which is by the sea, is shore innumerable. And remember, Abraham was promised, basically as many children as the sand, and from him generations, and that's including us as well, me, everybody is passed on down from Abraham on. That's that was the children. That's where that father Abraham's son comes from and stuff, because in a way we all came from him. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Yeah, they all died so faithful, and everybody needs to try to build that strong faith with God, whether, and like it says, you're not going to receive all promises, but, you will receive things from God. There's things God's have promised in here, and because of the things that we do, it changes that which we get. And but constantly, and visualizing and seeing, what's on the other side, and having that goal, they embraced it, and we're able to do great things. And all these verses right here, again, Hebrews chapter 11, it was very good. I read it this morning, and I had to do this because it shows how strong faith works throughout the years. All these people, Abraham, even Isaac, and Jacob, Noah, Sarah, all these people, and many more. There's many more throughout the Bible. They ain't the only ones. Had such great faith in God. They had incredible faith, and God was able to gift them with things, and He was able to fulfill his promises and stuff, and help them do great things. And if we just stay like that, like if we pray, and we just I know what's gonna happen because God. And I'm not saying everything's gonna happen. Like if you're asking for like a car or something, but in certain occasions it will, especially how strong your faith is. Like that one movie, I can't remember what it's called, but she had such strong faith. Everyone else was down because her son was in the hospital, and she was all happy because she had faith that God was going to heal him. She was like, yeah, it's no big deal because He's going to heal him. I know He's going to heal him. She was happy, and everyone else is all depressed and stuff. And he did get healed in the end. That strong faith. So that's what I got for today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be doing Matthew again next week. And see you guys then. Take it easy.